After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 551. Today is Tuesday, April 25th, 2023, as we are recording. Yes, we are a day late, but we had health issues by one member of this group. So,
and late is relative. We try to keep on a schedule, but honestly our schedule's like Monday, Tuesday.
Anyway, we're here.
We are here.
We want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. Well, I guess we should introduce ourselves. I am Arlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Talia, also known as Francisca Gypsy.
Want to welcome everybody to the Fun in the Woman Cave. We want to welcome the new and returning viewers. If you're new, we're glad you found us. We hope you see something that you like and that you will join us, if officially. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are new or returning and in the shadows, and you'd like to get more involved, or you just want to get notifications, please feel free to join us officially. You just tap the little subscribe button on your right. It's a little red button that says subscribe. And then tap the little bell, which will give you updates as to when we've got notifications when we update the podcast. And as I've said before, you can choose if you want all the updates or a few or whatever. It's up there. If you want to take part in the alongs, have chances to win prizes and all that kind of stuff, you need to be a member of the PHN podcast group, which is at phnpodcast.freeforms.net, and that's in the little description box below the video. We'd love to see you there as well. We have a new viewer there. I meant to mention that person a week or two ago when she joined. Her name is Paula, so we're glad to have Paula with us there. Yay. How many?
3.
Okay, I have 5, but one of them I can't show.
But that's if you count.
Okay, in my mug, I'm having the poor relation to the little gray cells.
That's not fair.
It's not quite as good. It's actually good. It's really good. I think I didn't put enough tea in it.
Well, also, this is one that needs to sit a little while. It needs to be stirred. It needs to sit a little while.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it will initially taste weak.
Oh, okay. That's what it tastes right now. Because I know what tasted yours was good.
That's why they have it at a lower temperature, I think. As the lower the temperature is, the better the flavor will come through. Because you're actually 10 degrees more than what they recommended.
Right, because I don't have 150 on my teapot.
Exactly. So, give it a chance to cool. It'll be fine.
This is the mocha nut malt, which is a major ingredient for the little gray cells. I just want to have options in case, God forbid, I can't get my little gray cells. But this is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's an Adagio tea.
And hers is not going to taste to its best temperature.
It has been sitting, though.
Yeah. And I just realized you never turned on your warmer.
I'm starting to get the flavor. I think I didn't put quite enough tea in it, though.
Still wait and see, because I usually think that with this until it sits. And then it improves.
It's already improved from when I first did it. This is one that having certain teas has taught me patience because I like to drink it hot and right away.
Because this warmer will keep it warm, but not to the way that it'll prevent this tea from maturing.
I feel like Picard, Earl Grey, hot. Anyway, so what are you having? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, my Adagio mug is what I have. I didn't show you a good picture of it though. Let me see here. There. There we go. Okay.
So in my I'd rather be knitting mug.
That's from Crystal? No.
Oh no, Crystal's.
I always say that. Hers is the big bunny.
Hers is the big bunny one. This one is one I picked up a long time ago. I think on Amazon or something. This is an old mug.
Yeah. I have to use Crystals again, sitting up there.
Crystals I usually use for special things because it's a bigger mug.
Yeah, and this is slightly smaller than my normal mug, so I use a little less sugar. And I like to use Crystals if I maybe only going to have one cup of tea, maybe.
Well, because I know that mine is used for special occasions, I also tend to use it this decoration unless I need to, because that's a mug I don't want to get broken.
Yeah, I don't want mine to get broken either. It's sitting up there.
And since it's
Safety.
a bigger size anyway, it kind of works out.
I love my mugs from Crystals.
But this has the little gray cells in it.
Oh, you do have little gray cells?
Because I almost want the mocha nut again, but I'm like, well, no, I had that last time. I had one, the two. At least I'm pretty sure that's what I had last time. So
I think so, because that's when I tasted it.
I was like, well, let me have this one this time. That reminds me, in the saga of my never arriving Russian caravan tea. Guys, it got sent. It was in Front Royal, got sent to Pennsylvania by accident, went from Pennsylvania to Puerto Rico, and now it's somewhere. I got someone else's package that was supposed to go to Pennsylvania, it looks like.
And it's medicine.
It's not prescription.
It's not
medicine,
prescription, but it's
for like
if someone has achy joints.
Yeah, and it's just like they have not. I asked them what I'm supposed to do with this. No one's gotten back to me, even though they said they would. And I basically don't know if I'm gonna have to contact T-Spot and say, hey, I know this isn't your fault, but I don't know where my tea is. It's been about a month.
I'm short on funds.
Yeah, I kind of like to either have a refund or get my tea.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll deal with you. They're
because I know it's not their fault because they tried to.
But they want to keep the customer.
Yeah, they do. USPS tried to blame T-Spot. Oh, they sent us to the wrong place. I'm like, no, they didn't. I can see the address they put here. This label, like, no, don't put this on T-Spot. I've received things successfully from them before. This is y'all's fault. It arrived in Front Royal just fine. You guys sent it to the wrong place after that. Don't put this on T-Spot.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, so what made me think of that is I've been having Earl of Grey, which is another T-Spot tea. And I was just thinking, like, man, I'm really enjoying this, which means I might have to think about eventually putting in a new Earl of Grey order.
I thought you had that great big bag. Because I gave you...
And I'm not quite there yet.
Because
I finally emptied it into a container.
I had a bag of my own, and I found that I can't drink it consistently. So she has my bag.
All of it is now in a big container.
Yeah.
So
it smells great.
Oh, well, that's what the Fruity Pebbles that Davina said she smelled the other morning.
Yep. But I can't drink certain black teas consistently, and I love Earl of Grey and I love Earl Greys, but I can't drink them all the time. They give me a stomach ache, or they make me feel nauseous, or whatever it is they do to my stomach. So, okay, moving on to the alongs. The first one is the PHN Movie Night Make Along 2023, and this runs all year. And the projects have to be knit, loom knit, crocheted, woven, or paper crafts such as journaling, origami, card making, etc. So whenever we broaden our horizons, you guys get more room to play with. So let's see here. The majority of these, you can get the rules for this in the thread, because if you're only on YouTube, you can't do it anyway. And if you are doing it, you're in PHN and in the...
It's the top post of each thread.
Yeah.
It's in the, it's called Craft Alongs or something like that.
In the interest of saving time, I'm just trying to...
It's just better to condense because we never know how much energy I'm going to have at any given time.
The hashtag is PHN Movie Night 2023 on Instagram. We've already pulled for the first quarter of prizes. All the prizes that we pulled for this last quarter have gone out except for one. So if anybody hears from Linnea, if they want to give her a little nudge to say to go, the first or last podcast, either the last podcast of March or the first one of April, where we did all the prizes, so she can see what she won, because at the end of the month she loses it, and I hate for her to lose it, but I can't. I can't. It's not fair for me to go looking for people who have won prizes, because the other people have gotten to me, and I also want to make sure they're watching the podcast. So,
right.
The Ready Set Go started. I'm sorry. That's done. That's okay. Autism awareness, that started the 1st of April, and it goes for the 3 months. So it ends July 1st, means it's over, and this is basically bright colors, okay, and the same types of projects that were mentioned in the last along. The featured yarns and patterns, the core of them are always the same. Anything by Lady Fernco Creations, anything by Franciscan Gypsy Designs, and anything by Lollipop Girl Creations, used to be also known as Lollipop Girl Yarns, anything by that, if you have a finished object in any of those, either yarns, patterns, whatever it is that comes from those makers, then you get a double chance at a prize. And if you use a featured yarn and a featured pattern, then you have triple chance at a prize, but you are responsible for your multiple postings. They have to reflect the theme of the along, okay? And the Autism Awareness also has added featured patterns of the 10 Hours or Less Braided Bright, that's George from 10 Hours or Less, and the Weighted Lapgan and Teddy Bear, which is from A Modest Creation, which used to be Miss World.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, I remembered that. How about that? Caffeine must be helping. And we have a prize donated for this from Pat, who is Looney Hiker. Thank you, Pat. This is one of her patterns. So if your name is pulled for this, you would just contact her and tell her what you want.
And she has some lovely patterns.
She does.
Lovely patterns.
And if you're not on Ravelry, you can see them on Lovecraft. She can't gift you them from Lovecraft. You have to tell her what she wants, and you have to email them to you. But she's willing to work with you. She's very generous and she's very talented. So thank you, Pat. Let's see here. The hashtag for that one is hashtag PHN. Where is it? AA 2023. Okay. Okay, the last one we're doing is the PHN Celebrating Spring, Passover, and Easter Make-Along. And this goes from March 1st through May 15th. So we hit Mother's Day, okay? And this is anything that has to do with the Easter, Spring, Passover time frame. Anything that has to do with that kind of, spring color, spring things, anything like that, okay? So you can find the rules in the group. The hashtag is CSPE 2023 on Instagram. That's also in the group in case, all those numbers and letters are confusing. It'll be there. And as always, anything by myself, Talia, or Laura Concert is a featured pattern or yarn, okay? This does not include 10 Hours or Less or Modest Creation. That's only for Autism Awareness. All right, so that takes care of the alongs.
Which means you go first.
This is starting to get some body to it now. So
yeah, like I said, it just takes a little while because that's a tea that's supposed to be at a lower temperature.
I think this will probably be a keeper, if only as a stopgap if I can't get my little gray cells all
Well,
the
this
way.
is a nice tea if you know you're going to be writing and might forget about it for a while because it'll actually get better.
Well, little gray cells does too.
That's another one. We actually heated a little too high because it's supposed to be 165. I think it's 165.
Yeah. So we only go 5 degrees higher, 10, whatever.
It's 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Because we're technically 160 would be closer, but you usually prefer your tea hotter. If I wanted to make it to be its best, I would probably heat it for 160.
All right. Well, let me see what we have here. Okay. Let me take this out. I was hoping to do some work on this, but most of you guys who've been with us for a while know, or even if you've only been with us for a few weeks, you know that I'm working on a special project, so everything else gets kind of shoved to the background.
Yeah.
This is not the right bag. In my angel bag, this is my Knitting's My bag. This is one of my first bags from Lois was Knitting's My bag, and she doesn't do bags anymore.
I don't think she does.
I know she stopped for a long time. I don't know if she's picked it up again, but I don't think so. So this is my Film Noir shawl, and this is Miss Babs yarn basically, and some Dragonfly fibers as well. And basically for this, I'm working it during the podcast because I'm trying to get other things done. But you can see that, I guess that's upside down. It might be better if you saw it this way.
I'm sorry, guys.
See? Can't raise my hand. I can't see.
Well, you're going to be high because it's a big thing.
But yeah, so yeah, and this is a lot of fun. It's very meditative, kind of potato chippy because it's not a hard stitch pattern. You just have to be careful of where you're at to make sure you do the increases. Otherwise, that's like any other project.
Right.
So you just kind of keep an eye on what you're doing. Let me see, I have 5 and you have 3. I'm at least do one stitch here before I
Show your next one.
show my next one, so I can say that I did something on it. So if I don't work on it, I can still show it.
Well, maybe wave your bag.
Oh, that's an idea. That's my... Okay, in my Ploverbird Mickey and Minnie Mouse bag is my test pattern for Talia.
I actually need to work on that pattern myself.
I can't show you that, so that was a good idea.
I have those sometimes.
Every once in a blue moon.
So, in my... I'm not going to show the one I'm working on right now because I'm in the middle of a row. In my in my Knipper Brains teapots bag that was a gift from Laura.
It's Laura Concert of Lollipop Girl Creations.
This is my Bomber's Hooded Cowl. The pattern is a free pattern called Thorin's Hooded Cowl. You can find the link to the pattern site by going to Ravelry. I'm sure if you also type into Google or whatever your search engine of choice is, Thorin's Hooded Cowl, I'm sure it will also come up, but it is free. It's nice because it has multiple versions available. I think it's version 3.
Because I think I'm doing version 2.
You're doing version 2, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The yawn is starting to kick in. I don't know why I'm tired all of a sudden. But this is Squash Blossom. It is my absolute favorite colorway from Miss Babs. And yeah, it's called Bomber's Hood Cowl because Bomber of the dwarves from The Hobbit has a yellow hood in according to the book.
Bomber.
So I will eventually have as many of the hoods that match each individual dwarf. I know I need I think it's a sky blue or something like that.
Mine actually matches Arwen's.
Yeah. But yeah, so I need to eventually have one. Thorin's is like a light blue and it has silver on it. But his will be for another day. I'm sure someone has green.
I'm sure more than one person has a different kind of green, forest green and all that.
I know that the twins, well, I'm not sure if they're actually twins, the brothers have, there's multiple brothers, Feely and Keely both have blue, and it's the same blue, like they're matching. Because Oi and Ori are also brothers, so Oin and Gloin. But regardless. Yeah, so this is Bomber's Hood Cowl. It's a fun knit. It's, very, very easy.
The woman is very talented and she's very generous. It's like 5 patterns or something in one pattern and it's all free.
It's really sweet of her.
Yeah.
And I use these constantly, partially because they keep me warm and I get cold around the neck. And I'm known to walk around the house with a hood on anyway because I get cold. But it also serves because the hood is, even without making the wide version, which I actually find to be annoying, I don't find it blocks the light like I need to. The normal version, it blocks the light like I need to, but if I pull it forward a little bit more, it can cover my eyes completely.
Well, we actually found that I was going to do the larger hood, and I put hers on, and we actually found that I don't want the bigger hood.
It saves yarn, too. But yeah, I personally just find that the normal size just looks better, just feels like it better, it's just nicer. So yeah, that's it for that.
All right, let me just put this aside. I've got part of a row done, so that's good. You won't see a whole lot of progress, but you'll see some. Maybe I'll be able to work a little bit on it later, but let me see. Depending on how much I get done on the other project I need to get done. Let me put this back in the bag.
Do you have a minimum amount of rows that you have to do each day?
It all depends on how my hand feels and also whether or not I can sit and do it while I'm watching television, because Daddy sometimes doesn't like me to do it, especially if we're watching a date night movie. I can't do it. So I honor that request.
Well, I'm wondering how much you're able to get done with Person of Interest.
I can. I just have to make sure that I'm done with whatever I have and there's nothing on my hands because it's white.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't sure because it's an engrossing show.
Oh, I love that show.
Even though it's your second time around watching it.
Yeah, but it's been a long time since I've watched it. And Daddy keeps asking me questions that he doesn't want to have answered. Okay.
For someone who's like insistent that, oh, you guys better not spoil this for me. Oh, you're giving stuff away. He has so many questions.
Yeah. Okay, in my Silver Shade USA extra large Podiversary bag. Okay. By the lovely Anne, I guess she's Anne Gardner now.
I think so.
This is my baby blanket. It's called the, I think it's called the Strawberry Shortcake baby blanket. It's from the Cerebel Scarf pattern by Sarah Sweethearts. And like I people know that I've done this pattern many times, and that's not even enough manys. It's one of my favorite patterns. It's one of my go-tos for scarves, for blankets, for cowls, you name it. I generally will do it.
Stoles.
I've been trying to figure out how to adapt it into a shawl, but because it's got multiples involved, I'm having troubles.
Because you have to think about increases.
Because I just think this is
decreases.
I just think this is one of the prettiest patterns that there is, and it's very, very versatile. The yarn is ice yarn, and this one is a fuzzy yarn, which I got hooked on ice yarn by Crystal from Chronically Crocheting and from Kara, who's one of our viewers. Each of them gave me some of this, and I loved working with it. Theirs was not fuzzy. This is fuzzy.
Right, we didn't look very closely when we chose base.
Yeah, well, we didn't know that they had fuzzy.
Yeah.
You know, so, but it's a really soft yarn, but it can be a bear to tink back with the fuzziness. When it's not fuzzy, it's just like any other yarn to tink back. But it really, the color gradation on this is really nice. Let me show it to you as soon as I finish this stitch. I don't want to make a mistake here, or you'll see firsthand me getting frustrated, wanting to throw it across the room. So,
that escalated quickly.
see, it's pretty. I really like it. It reminds me of Strawberry Shortcake with her little bonnet and her pink and purple.
I've only seen I don't think I've seen a lot of that character, even though I have a general idea of what she looks like.
Yeah. I think it was kind of around the time it was when you were little, but I think it was also a little before that.
Okay.
Like maybe when I was in college. I'm trying to think when Strawberry Shortcake. I think it was the same time that like things like gunny sacks and all that kind of stuff was popular. But yeah, this is really, really soft. I think I think it's gonna be warm, and it's very, very soft. Hopefully, it won't irritate the baby who gets it.
I'm sure it won't. So. Okay, so my next project is in my 10-year anniversary PHN bag. I will pick it up and show it to you in a second, but it has inside the heart a picture of the worked out version of Mom's yarn for the design. A picture, what was I saying?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You said it has a
I don't know what I'm talking about. What was it talking about?
You were talking about...
Oh, this here. Okay,
yeah.
so it's a picture that has the yarn that has the design on it. That was used to make the
bag does?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bag has a picture of the yarn that was used to make the chameleon design. That's what I was trying to say.
Because the way you said it was almost the pattern. I couldn't make out heads or tails.
Yeah, I started, like... I hate it when I get into Twilight.
Yeah.
Because then I don't remember what I'm saying.
Right. It's okay.
So then we have the original PHN logo. We have the logo, the drawing Dad did of my chameleon for the chameleon bag.
All the artwork's by Daddy.
Yeah. And the only thing that's not by Dad is the yarn.
Right, that's me.
Picture.
And and it's my yarn that I sent a picture to Anne, and Anne cropped it.
Yes, to make it into a heart.
Yeah.
And this design for the bag was Anne's idea.
Mm-hmm.
We were about to go with something much simpler.
Yeah.
And this was just a genius idea. We just provided her the materials, not knowing what she was going to do with it.
She got the words and phrases.
Yeah.
She's perfect.
It's honestly a culmination of all the bags she's made us over a certain period of time.
Not all of them.
Well, I mean, she's done the chameleon.
Yeah, but she's done others.
Okay,
as
not
well.
all of them. Okay, some of the more recent. This pays homage to several different bags.
Right, that's it.
Yeah, including the one with the words on it.
Yeah.
You've got the chameleon bag. We've had ones with this old logo
Yeah,
on it.
that was the I think it was 500 members or
Something like that.
something.
Mine's holding a project that I'm not currently
Yeah.
using right now. But yeah, so and then of course 10-year anniversary is special. A special logo. But yeah, in here is my Rice Krispie socks. The pattern is Not Just Boring Boot Socks by Corinne Walcher, and the yarn is Snap Crackle Oh Crap Pop. This is an undead yarn. The first sock has been done for a while, so there
It's
it
really
is, and I'm now in the gusset decreases.
It looks a little different.
Well, yeah, because that's the
Yeah,
way.
it's like a fraternal sock.
Yeah, I mean that's just the way the yarn.
Well, it's the way the dye was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's not substantially
Yeah.
different. It's just
it'll definitely be. You can definitely tell it's the same.
yeah, they're siblings.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm headed into the. I have gusset decreases. When I'm done with that, then on the foot, and then there we go. It should be if I focus on it, I could get this done pretty quickly. And I'm not going to replace it with anything because I have other ones on the needles. The only ones that I would show any desire to replace once I finish them is the West Yorkshire Spinners. But I have
Or if I ever get my yarn dyed up.
right. But I mean, it wouldn't go in. It wouldn't go necessarily in. Well, you're right for your particular socks. Yes. But I have a couple of these heavier weight ones that I started around the time of my surgery with the highly optimistic idea that I would actually use all my recovery time to knit because I would somehow have a brain to do that
And the ability to
post-major
sit up.
surgery.
And the ability to sit up.
Well, I thought I could do it laying down. I didn't realize how hard that would be. It didn't work out. And I didn't realize how much more painful that surgery would be for my first one. I was able to get up that day. So it was a very different experience. I was not prepared. I was over prepared in some ways for optimism. Okay. But yeah, that's it for this.
Whoops.
It's a bunny.
I like to hear whoops when I'm doing that. Just put this
Oopsie.
away. Okay, I think I have 2 more. That can't be right.
I have one more after this.
Okay, then I do have 2 more.
Well, I mean, I just showed one, but I have one more.
Just put this in here before it gets stuck in my zipper. Because I've been known to do that. I think my shawl project might have to be switched out of that bag into something else because it's really stuffed in there. Okay, okay, this is the preemie hat. Nope, not done yet because I only worked 1 round on it, I think, because other things.
Life.
Oh, just other things. So here it is. So you can see it's only made a little bit of progress because I only did 1 round or something. I think I did it on the podcast, and I think I showed you what the hat will look like when it's finally done because this is I need to put that in the box with the other things. Baby hat. So yeah, takes care of that. I want my drink.
Okay, so, just saying, make sure I don't have a decrease row to do. I think I do have a decrease row.
That's much better.
Yeah, this is a decrease row coming up. Okay. No, it's not. I'll figure it out in a second.
Talking to yourself? You want to let the rest of us in on the conversation?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if I have a decrease row to do or if I just did a decrease row. And I think I'm actually headed into a decrease row. Sometimes it can be a bit hard to tell if I forgot to mark it.
Is that your socks?
Yeah. But, so, in my Batman tote bag, I've had this forever. This project is my, the pattern is Log Cabin Love by 10 hours or less.
That's George.
Yes, and I think I call this Love Cabin blanket. I think that's what I called it.
Not the Love Shack.
No. So I finally added another color. So we're headed into the red section.
Red. Red means
Add
stuff.
another different feel to what's currently going.
That's pretty red.
Yeah, this I used for a sweater.
Is that airport hot sauce?
Oh no, Airport Hot Sauce is a hot sauce red. This is the Melski yarn.
Yeah, but what color is it though?
This is a hot sauce. Is a dragonfly. No, not dragonfly.
Well, Melski doesn't have her own yarn.
No, she doesn't. But I didn't have that yarn. I'd never gotten that yarn at that point. This is a what's it called? It's the same people who did the blue spruce.
Oh,
I forget. I don't have the wall band anymore. I know it's not a superwash. I'm pretty sure it's not a superwash.
that's not that wool that you like so much, is it?
It might be shepherd's wool. It's either shepherd's wool or stone something wool.
Stonehenge
it might
fibers.
be brown. It might be. No, I don't think it's brown. I don't think it's brown sheep. What'd you say?
Stonehenge fibers.
It might. I don't think it's Stonehenge. It's one of those three. I don't think it's Stonehenge. I'm pretty certain it's not the brown sheep's wool because that's a little less. It's looser.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less processed, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But this might be shepherd's wool. I can't remember for sure. I wouldn't be surprised because I do like that yarn.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, you know what it could also be? Cascade 220.
Oh yeah.
It could be. I'm not quite sure though.
I could see that being Cascade 220.
I don't remember the colorway, and if it is Cascade 220,
There
it
is
wouldn't
one.
matter. I still wouldn't know the colorway.
You have to go looking for it.
Yes. I happen to know the one blue I have is Puget Sound because I went looking for it.
Yeah.
It was really hard to find another skein when I needed it.
I don't know why Cascade doesn't put their names on it.
I don't know.
Because they have them. They just
They
don't
do.
put 'em.
So, yes, this is the next color. I do have a little bit of the hearts growing there. And I'm not anywhere, I have a while to go. This is only supposed to be a lap one. I've already got to the point of adding extra logs because this is supposed to be done with like a 10 or something. He likes his projects a lot lighter weight than I do, where he will do a bigger needle than I would have chosen. So I had gone down significantly in the needles, which is why this is not bigger. This is not a baby blanket size yet, even though I'm using the same yarn recommended.
As a reference, he uses bigger needles than I would use.
Well, that makes sense. Well, I guess you're right. You're okay with looser.
That's my point. I'm not okay. Apparently, I don't like as loose as he does. But
Yeah. So that's why this is not even baby blanket size yet, and I'm already adding extra logs. But that's okay. It gives me more time to different colors. This is my red section, so I have this red that'll be top and bottom. Then when I turn to the sides, it'll be a different shade of red. I think it's a brighter shade of red. And I'm not going to use any of my airport hot sauce in this. A, all that I have is a DK. And then B, I have it saved completely for one project. I can't risk running out by using it elsewhere.
Right.
So, yeah. After this, the red section, I think I have blues. And then after that, I think I have yellows. I think I go into a pink and red section after that. And then I have like a bluish grayish section, and hopefully by then I'll be able to start looking at being able to edge it and call it done, because it's only supposed to be a lap blanket. Technically it kind of already serves that purpose, but I want to do more than cover my legs only when they're tightly closed.
Right.
So I want more colors. And since it's a square, it works out nicely because it's not going to drop more on one end or the other, so it'll always be in the right direction. Now it's one end's gonna be it's not perfect square. It's like a little bit, it's longer on one side, but not enough to be a true rectangle. Now this isn't a good example because I haven't added all my reds yet. But yeah, I'm happy now that once all the reds come in, it's not gonna look quite as muted as before. I mean, this right here right now is a kind of muted red, but I will be bringing a brighter red into
That's
this.
not muted.
It's
It's a jewel tone, but it's not
I think
muted.
it's a fallish red.
Yeah, but that's not muted.
Okay, not muted, but it's a fallish red. And right now, all the colors you have in here could be argued maybe this light blue
Springs.
as spring falls.
Yeah.
So I look forward to bringing in some of the other colors to brighten things up a little bit, to, you know, just kind of give it a little bit more something.
Okay, are you done?
But yes, I really do enjoy this pattern.
You sure you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just finish this stitch for a second. Okay, this is the project I've been working the most on. It's in my Stitched by Mimi teacups bag that she made me, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago now. I love this.
Where did this go?
It's nice because it's wide and it's tall, so it can grow up and still be able to fit.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do.
So let me just clip this for a second so you can see how much work I've done on it, because this is what I've been working on. And I know I have to weave in the ends. I will do it later. So
You will think about it.
you can see that it has grown quite a bit. This has to be done by September. I don't like having deadlines looming over me, so
Yeah.
I need to finish them as soon as possible, and then I can relax. They don't know it's coming, but that's not the point. I'm really enjoying this. Again, this is the Surabel pattern by Sarah Sweethearts in a wedding afghan. Okay, for a wedding present, and I like the kind of vintage kind of feel it gives.
Yes.
And since I don't know a lot about his fiance, I haven't met her yet. I don't know what colors they like. I thought that, you know, it's always safe to go with something rather classic and
Yes.
vintagey, and this kind of an ivory kind of color works really well. And this is my Bare Necessities in a bulky weight, and so it's moving along pretty quickly. When I sit down and do it, as long as I don't make mistakes and have to think back, it moves pretty quickly. It's really a nice pattern. I enjoy this, and I know that I have a couple people now in our group who are kind of addicted to it as well. So that's good. She's another one that it's a very nice pattern that, and I think it was free because I gave because I gave it away. So
And it's not available anymore online.
it's not available anymore online.
You have to basically get it through people like Mom, who are just like, it's free here. Okay, so that's it for me.
That's it for me too. Let me just,
I didn't really get to the graphic novel than I thought about doing, because I have been trying to think about doing it when I've got my I try to listen to Bible a year, and then if I get inspired by a particular verse, put it in the journal. I had written down one on sticky note to put in later, but I then never got around to putting it in the journal. So what I might do is actually leave it on the sticky note and put it in the journal that way,
until you can have time,
or maybe just have
you
that
could
be
do-
the aesthetic.
You just gotta make sure that you make it more permanent though, because
Oh yeah, I would have to put glue or something underneath,
Right.
but instead of just making it, okay, well that's the look now, you know.
because I keep forgetting. I have a whole bunch of things. I've got things like both my journals, the one that Stacy gave me and the other one, that they're just kind of bursting at the seams with stuff that I want to put in. But to sit down and do it is like, you know, well, I have this to do and I have that to do, and don't catch on that. So that I just like, oh yeah, I got to do that journals thing. I'm hoping that now that things are slowing down, I can do that and just kind of sit down. And I'm not artistic by nature in terms of drawing or whatever, so it's really a little bit of a challenge for me. Something to challenge myself with.
And the challenge for me is I have to work a little bit harder at the more. I tend to be very,
Perfectionist?
it's not just perfectionist. I don't do the whimsical well. It's everything tends to be, and we've talked about this before, where I've had more the tendency to be then this, then this, then this. This is why I write patterns. You know, it's very, yes, it's a creative process, but it's then this step, and then I go do step. Okay, I can see this. You know, it's
Whereas I'm like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
right, and it's just a very arguably her way is far more creative, whereas I am very much okay. There, that's the way. So for me,
I tend to be seat of my pants.
turning a journal thing, making a more whimsical thing is actually something I have to work at, because that is not my natural tendency. I tend to be very much Yeah. If you saw my workspace when I was at work, if I followed someone like my really tall former coworker with the face, it's sorry, they all have faces, but
No, his face is special.
but his workstation would be an absolute disaster. Like, pens, papers all over the place. There's an old bottle that he used for something there, and it's just like all. And as soon as I come in, okay, clear that off, and then I had lined up. Okay, this is my different patients' stuff, and here's my sticky notes.
Well, I'm a kind of between that. I'll start out that way, and I'll set up file system, blah 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 blah, and then as I get accustomed to what I'm doing, it's a little less stringent, but it's not ever like.
My workspace is where I will be my most stringent.
Me too.
If you want to see me relax, it's in my home space. Now, there will be a point if I'm doing a lot of work at my desk, I have to have certain different zones. This is this zone, this is that zone. It's otherwise I don't know where things are. But I can't just do like my one chemistry professor where you couldn't tell where his floor was and where his desk began because it was an avalanche of papers.
Think Indiana Jones.
I used to think of him in my head as the like absent-minded Santa Claus because he wasn't like heavy or anything, but he had that really nice white beard, and he was really like a cute, nice older gentleman. And his office, like going in there, you would risk dying from slipping on papers. I don't know how he found anything.
I
wonder if he made upgrades.
It made me think of remember when they all tried to find Indiana Jones and all those papers. But Padre Pio, not Padre Pio, Maximilian Kolbe was like that. They said St. Maximilian Kolbe was like, you couldn't find his desk.
I bet with St. Jerome, his thing was like regiment.
He didn't have a desk. He was a hermit.
You don't think they worked on desks? Do you think he just worked on a rock? He was translating the Bible.
I don't care. I think St. Jerome probably growled the words and they just immediately translated.
He was such a crap.
St. Jerome, I hope he's grown a sense of humor up there and he's laughing at me. So, but anyway.
I mean, do you think he worked off of his lap? Okay, here's this translation. Like, he needed to have something.
I think it was in the scriptorium, actually, to be quite honest with you. And so he wouldn't have had necessarily a desk. He would have brought everything with him, or he would have, had.
Is that like a little table desk?
No, a scriptorium is like in a monastery, you'd have a scriptorium. That's where all the people did their copying.
But he was by himself. Like you said, he was a hermit.
Yeah, but I don't think he did this. Well, but I don't think he necessarily did the translations there. He wouldn't have what he had to translate.
Well, I'm assuming he had books, but that doesn't necessarily mean there was anyone with him.
But my point is that something that was that valuable, they might not have let go out of the scriptorium. He might have had to come in and translate, even if he did live as a hermit. I don't know. That's something I have to research.
Yeah, because I know that Augustine did, because I always felt bad for his scribes, because he would not really he would burn the candle both ends and be like, okay, hey, I'm going to start speaking. You write it down. I mean, I can imagine his scribe like half asleep. Okay, Augustine, could you just like go to bed like a normal person, please?
No.
I bet his work, they talk about in the margins for like the medieval works where people were like, ugh, I just wish I could go to bed. That's what his work. Like, I bet in the margins you'd be like, he is such a jerk. He makes me stay up all the time.
Such a taskmaster.
I knew I should have stayed with, I don't know, Athanasius.
Ambrose.
At least he was cool.
From the frying pan into the fire. But,
okay, sorry.
These are church fathers and things. They're pretty cool. Okay.
Scribal issues in early Christianity. Okay. Anyway. Whew, okay. I don't know how we got there. Journaling. Somehow we got from journaling
to journalers.
Jerome and Augustine.
Anyway.
Messy desk.
Yes, don't forget Colby.
Yes. Chemistry professor to Colby, to Jerome, to Augustine, to poor Augustine's scribe. Well, it was Augustine's poor scribe, and then it was Ambrose, and then it's back to the poor scribe.
Again, no linear. Okay, all right. What's next?
Okay, so we know you're writing.
Is that next?
I mean, I'm just sticking in there with kind of like graphic novel-y
Yeah,
writing type of
I've been
stuff.
doing a lot of writing. I'm really close to giving her the shared story a whole year later, which is, it frustrates me that it's taken me that long. But it's really nice to be writing. I'm actually doing new material at the end of the story there so I can give it to her hopefully in the next few days.
So then it'll take another year.
I hope it's not going to take that
Hopefully it
long.
won't take that long.
But
since I have it, you know.
yeah, we never can tell. I'm hoping sometimes she gets what I like to think of as genius burns.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, what happens if I have a creative period, I don't stop. I just go until it burns out because, I've always worked that way creatively. We've talked about this before.
well, so have I, but I can't.
With my owl, I've popped out that design in one day. At least the basics of writing the pattern on one day. I did Barry was completely done in one day. I had a couple patterns. There's one day wonders. Wonders.
I'm sorry, my hair. Anyway.
And that's just the way that I've tended toward creatively is.
And I think that's
spurts.
most people who are creative, but for me, because I have a family to take
Mm-hmm.
care of, I have to stop, and that kind of messes me up. But I have been known to, when I wasn't doing the most healthy writing, where I'm putting people to bed, and then I'd be up for another 2 or 3 hours, and then I'd get up with my husband at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and do school with the girls and be writing while they were in school. So it's just,
Right.
I had one time, I remember sitting up when the desks were over here, my desk was over here, and I'd lost my entire chapter. Do you know I rewrote that entire thing from memory?
That's
In that
rough.
one day.
That's
in that
rough.
one day. Yeah, it's,
Now she used to be to even write kind of like I used to do for knitting in the grocery store. She used to write at the meat counter. So like Mom has found old lists with ideas or part of a chapter or whatever written on the back of the list because she was waiting at the meat counter. So
and I still do that occasionally if I'm waiting somewhere.
but you really have to be at the point of almost on a healthy level into your writing to be so absorbed as to be able to tune out the world to that extent, because she was able to watch TV and write.
Well, clarify this. I could watch football.
Yeah, but to be in the zone to that extent, you almost have to live in that world just as much, if not more, than in the real world, which is why there are so many authors that have, family issues.
Well, any creative people that they
Painters are the same.
musicians, whatever you are,
Musicians, yeah.
yeah.
Um,
You have to be able to set the brakes.
And a lot of times with creatives, that can be an issue. And even though my creativity isn't the way Mom's is, it's once I hit my stride, I don't generally stop. Now, especially now that energy is such an issue for me, when I have it, I use it till it goes away, because it doesn't matter if I save it sometimes. It doesn't mean I'm going to have it for the next day. I might as well use it while I have it. Sometimes the spoon theory of saving it doesn't necessarily work out so nicely. Because if it's going to rain, if it's going to whatever, I can't plan for that. It doesn't matter how well I took care of myself the day before.
I want to know what happened yesterday for us, because it didn't rain. It didn't do anything. I had to take a nap, and I was in pain all day.
Well, my jaw was bothering me by the end of the night. I don't know what was going on yesterday.
My jaw was bothering me. It was just, we're old people over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, even when we're not.
I mean, I was having a sensory day yesterday, so I don't know.
Okay, so
Somewhere across the world, a donkey sneezed. I
Yeah,
don't know.
a blind monkey threw a dart at a dartboard in Timbuktu and said rain and thunderstorms, and that's what it was.
And just by saying rain and thunderstorms, it was enough.
Okay, so now what?
Someone grabbed the thingy from the Majagi and, ran off with it, and that's what happened.
What next?
Okay, so, stash enhancements, I have nothing to show here.
You don't have anything?
Well, all my enhancements are books or rosary stuff. A book school, my booktube.
Okay,
And I don't have, like, rosary stuff I don't show here because I don't show its enhancements for that.
Okay, this is my Adagio enhancement. This is, I know I had one a couple weeks ago, but Davina had gotten me two Adagio cards, which I told her not to get me this, or told you not to let her get me this time. Not because I don't like them, but because I have enough tea at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to use mine because I'm not ready to yet.
I ordered, you saw the last one that I got for my birthday card. This one was for Easter. And yeah, I paid a little bit more for things, but you know. First of all, because my order came, I was wondering if they'd give it to me because the order was partially paid by card, but I guess they didn't care about that because they still gave it to me. This was the freebie.
Oh, you buy enough for me anyway. Oh, that looks like a nice bag.
This is the Adagio bag.
That's a nice size,
This
too.
is a really nice canvas Adagio
I'm
bag.
sad that I don't have enough, of a reason to buy something.
$9.
Oh, by itself?
By itself.
Okay.
So this is the Adagio bag. It's a canvas bag. It doesn't have a zipper, but it's fairly wide.
I just have to, I'm not sure if I can justify just spending the $9 for it.
So
without having to buy anything.
This is the Adagio bag itself, and what came with it as part of the freebie was this Earth Keeper tea for Earth Day. And I forget what's in this. It's not really listed.
Because of the fact that I have a fondness for books that are particularly academic ones you can't get on Kindle, I have to cut corners on things that aren't as important to me, like Adagio tote bags I don't need.
Yeah.
Because I love too much.
Yeah.
I love too much my academic books that really aren't on Kindle. You can't get them.
I almost said no to this because I really probably shouldn't have gotten another bag. But we use the canvas bag.
We do.
And
we do for multiple things. And it's cool.
It's Adagio bag. It's not, it's a different kind of
If
bag.
you wanted to even, you could say, I'll keep Adagio stuff in. I don't know. You can find a use for it. It's a bag. You would always use a bag.
Yeah, we use bags a lot here. So, and this came with it. And then this tea I won on a wheel spin. They do these wheels every once in a while where you can win. But because the Adagio bag was in there, they wouldn't let me get it for free. But
that makes sense.
But the girl knew I wanted it, and she wanted me to tell her about it, so I went ahead and purchased it. And it's called Courage. And I'm a little concerned about this because it's a Ceylon tea, which is a black tea, and that tends to bother my stomach. So if it bothers my stomach at all, if I don't like it, I'll give it to Talia. And actually, that would be good for you anyway.
Yeah.
And then this one is one of my blends.
Because I need courage?
Well, for what you do, This one is one of my blends. I think it's called, because it's brand new, I think it's called, what's it called? A Spot of Mott and Chocolate. If you say it correctly, it's a Spot of Mott and Chocolate. But
that's fun.
But the picture I took in California, and a few years back, of a clown on a unicycle. It has nothing to do with anything. I just didn't have a picture to put on it. And this has got yerba mate and toasted mott and honeybush chocolate, among other things, in here. So I'm not sure how this is going to...
Is there a way to spell chocolate so they know the way you're supposed to spell it?
I could go choco asterisk lot or something. But in any event, this is something that I saw something similar on another tea place. And I said, oh, that looks good. I want to try to make it. So I looked at what they had in the ingredients. And, of course, I don't know what their percentages are.
Right.
And also, I couldn't find certain ingredients, and I took out ingredients. I don't want coconut in my tea, so I took it out. So it's an homage.
Yeah.
In fact, this tea, Adagio lets you set up fandoms, and this is my homage tea blends. So like Amarato cookies is in there, and this is in there, and things like that, where I got it from a recipe or I got it from what I saw someone else do. Those are my homage, and this is in there, so they know. Yeah, it's not. Heck, Chocolate Monkey theoretically could be in there.
Yeah, it could be in there.
Because it is an homage. And I may have put it in there. I can't remember. So that's that. I love my chai teas. And this is a masala chai blend. And it also is about Mother Teresa. I got the small tin at one time. I thought I had gotten the big one. But the middle one. The big one's huge. So this is Peace Begins with a Smile and Tea. And this is somebody's blend homage to Mother Teresa.
And it's a chai tea, which is why I have never tried it, and I will never try it most likely.
And I know I just bought this, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty. And this is my chocolate milk.
Well, you were also planning to move it to a bigger container.
It's already in there.
Has it already made its move?
Yes, that's that. And then I bought sugar. So that's basically what I got from Adagio. A few of them are freebies, as you saw. And the others, now I'm probably good to go unless something comes up that I need to replace.
Yeah.
I do have a freebie that I won that's sitting there until I can try it, and I may or may not try it because I'm not sure how I feel about the blend, and it looks like I might have to pay for it. So
Yeah.
It's the same person that I got the last one from. She's this particular person. I thought she was new, and I think she's new. I was one of her first friends, and she's like going gangbusters with all the blends that she's making. And I picked up one. She said, "Well, I don't know how it tastes. I haven't tasted it yet." I'm like, okay, I'll let you know. The other thing that I got, this is stash enhancements for my journaling, and this is a new place. It's called Tapology, I think it's called. And the box says, "I'm finally home." And I didn't know where this was coming from. It was coming from China, and it came in record time.
Yeah, she's a British. Would you call her an expat if she's living
I think
there?
she's an expatriate. Yeah, because she's a British lady who's a teacher, I think, and she went to China. I think she married somebody in China, or she married somebody in Singapore. Anyway, she went to China, went to Singapore, finally she got homesick, and then went back to China. But anyway, I have to look at her things. But this, I'm sorry, you can't have this. You can't have these. These are like these little tag type things.
Oh, okay.
To put in the
Well,
journal.
I figure this is your special box. I wouldn't take any of that from you anyway.
This is,
I mean, this is something that you've been looking forward to.
because usually whatever I get from this kind of stuff, I'll split with Talia. But things from Tapeology, and
Because this is a special box.
Tapeology and washi tape. I generally, this is called Taperology, and I got a 10% coupon.
And I know I need to work through some of the stuff I've already got. I'm not at the point where I was when I first started, where I had 0 things.
Right, because I gave you a bunch of stuff, and you picked up some stuff. But these are like little frame things. I don't want to open this up, but these are little mushrooms and things. Little stickers, mushrooms, and plants and stuff. I like the vintage kind of stuff. These are butterflies and flowers.
You need a big journal for that one.
No, it's got several.
Oh, okay.
And then this, I'm not sure if this is a,
Okay, so it looks like inside you have like snowflakes and things like that.
butterflies and stuff.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a very delicate paper, maybe.
Yeah. So this.
Yeah, it looks like it's a very delicate paper.
And then I have washi tape. This is like old-fashioned tickets and things. And this is those little tiny pictures that they're kind of like postage stamps, I think, but they're little pictures. And the thing I like about this is that you can just flip through them.
And choose the one you want. Or
This is papers. The song for this one is, I think, God Bless America. And it's got some really vintagey, let me see here. This one I can open without destroying it. Because I'm afraid if I open that one, I'll destroy it. But,
Yeah.
So yeah, you got these vintage papers, you got music, whoops, I don't want to lose this stuff here. All different kinds of sheets of paper and everything.
Yeah, you probably, because you have other small things within there.
Yeah,
so you don't want to drop
I don't
it.
want to drop it, so I thought I could show it to you, but I think if I do, I might risk losing
You were
something.
checking what the song was, though, before you put it away.
The song is America the Beautiful. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to using these. Then this is a box. It was on sale, and then on top of the sale, I found a coupon for it. So it wasn't cheap at all, but it was a specialty box, and 30% off is what I ended up getting off of it. And my Daddy said I could go ahead and pick it up. So this is like specialty papers. Some of these are real delicate, and some of them are not somewhat delicate. And this all came in the one box. And they have boxes that you can get every month. This was an old box. This was a September box. And I liked it best of all the ones that they had. There was another one I really liked as well, but I couldn't justify getting 2 of them because they're a little expensive. Not that they aren't worth it. They're worth the price that was on there to begin with, the original price, because these things that you get, even these type of things, if you look for them, can be pretty expensive. They can be $10, $12, $15 a piece.
I'll be quite honest with you. Something that I already want kind of goes up in value to me after I've had to search for sales. Like, I thoroughly enjoy searching for sales. So, it's like, if I have to search for sale, and I can get a thing that's good quality, I'm even happier.
Well, that's why I was so happy about this one, because I got like 35% off of it, and this stuff is not cheap. This stuff is quality stuff. And so, and it has this nice little box. Instead of having to find a place to put it, I can put it right on top of that box up there where my other scrapbooking stuff is. I can start it right into it, and it's all in this one place. They have their own little envelopes, so they're not like all over the place. Because that's the thing about paper crafts I'm finding, is that it just goes all over the place.
And I'll admit, I'm sometimes lazy about putting it away. I'll just dump it in the drawer that I have. It's like, oh, I'll organize that later. But later.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So that's my stash enhancements. I don't have anything else really.
Me either. I'm starting to get tired.
Okay, we want to thank. Oh, there's a Zoom on Friday.
Yes, there is.
There's a Zoom on Friday. For those of you who are Patreons, we want to thank all the people who have commented either on YouTube or on PHN. If I didn't respond to you, that's because I didn't see you there before I looked this morning, and I think I got everybody. I want to thank everybody who responded about the to be determined colorway. I did find the recipe for it because it had the colorway in parentheses. I had the
in your notes.
Yeah, in my notes I had the PHN, the Food, what was it? Food times 10 or whatever it was I called that. I have it in my notes. And right below it was the other one, and it had in parentheses Madam Mim.
And so one of our members, I forget who was like, I think it's Madam Mim.
Pat.
She showed the three purples together.
She showed Madam Mim, Virtual Hug, and then the colorway without a name.
And she said, I'm pretty sure it's Madam Mim, and she was absolutely correct.
Yes, thank you, Pat. And thank you, everybody who... Brenna posted a picture.
Multiple people did.
Yeah, so I appreciate your help. You guys are amazing, honestly.
And multiple people responded in YouTube. Mine says to be determined. So we had multiple people trying to help find it, so thank you.
We have the best group in all of YouTube ever. We have the best group of all of everywhere, so just saying. I mean, you know, other people may be bigger groups than we are, but we are the best group. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway, so we want to thank everybody for watching. We hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. We hope you have a wonderful, blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 551, and that's a wrap.
Bye. Even though you still can't put that fully on screen for whatever reason.
It is on screen.
No, look. You see, on screen. There. That's on screen.
On screen.
You were directionally challenged.